Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our CURT hitch on our 2025 Subaru Forester. So my first impressions with this hitch is I really like the gloss powder coat finish on this one. It looks really good. And another thing that really stood out to me is that this one, you don't have any cross tube showing at all on this one. It's a hidden cross tube design. So it's all going to be all hidden behind our fascia here. Now this is the only option that I have seen for this one that has the hidden cross tube design. All the other ones you're going to see some tube hanging down here. So I think this is one of the best looking options that we have for our Subaru Forester. So this hitch is going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening, and that's what's going to hold in your accessories. This one will not come with a pin and clip, so you may want to pick one up here at eTrailer. Another nice option to look at as well is going to be a locking pin option. And what that's going to do for you is allow you to lock any of your accessories onto your vehicle. Like say when you're on the bike trail and you have your nice bike rack on the back, you can lock that in place so while you're gone, nobody can take that off on you. Now this hitch is going to have the really heavy duty chain loop openings, so that will accommodate your S-style hooks or your clevis style hooks. So either one of those are going to work for you for your trailer towing needs. Now as far as our measurements go, from the center of the pinhole opening out to the edge of the bumper, we're looking at right at about 1.75 inches. Now with that measurement, you'll be able to decide if any of your accessories that may fold up, like your bike racks or cargo carriers, will stow away without touching the back of the vehicle. From the top inside of our receiver tube to the ground, we're looking at right around 14 inches. And with that measurement, that's going to help you decide if you need any rise of the shank of, say, your bike racks or your cargo carriers for clearance. As far as weight capacities go for this hitch, we're looking at a tongue weight rating of 350 pounds, and that's going to be the weight of your bike racks or your cargo carriers pushing down on the lower part of your hitch itself. That's going to be good for your bike racks with them all loaded down. A lot of people really use their Subarus for a lot of adventures. So say you get all your camping gear in the back and you need a little more room, adding on a cargo carrier is really going to help you out with getting a little more space to get you out on your adventures and out to the campsite. For a gross trailer weight rating, we're looking at 3,500 pounds. And with that, that's going to be the weight of your trailer and everything that you have loaded on your trailer itself. Now that is going to be nice for, say you have a small teardrop camper, you know, maybe jet skis or something you're hauling out to the lake for the weekend. That's going to work out great for that. Now keep in mind, it's also a good idea to take a look in your owner's manual and make sure you're not exceeding any of your tow ratings in there. So rule of thumb, it's usually best to go with the lowest rating number between your hitch and your owner's manual. So at the end of the day, this would be the hitch I would pick for my Subaru Forester. I just like the way this one's set up with the hidden cross tube design, and I think it's one of our best options that we have for these. Now, if you have any questions or comments about this hitch, or you have one and you have some pictures, let us know how you're using it and what you're using it for. Maybe throw us some pictures on there. We'd love to see those. Now, as far as installation goes, you will have to remove the rear fascia, but it's not really too bad on these. It's something you can definitely get done yourself. Other than that, if you don't have time to do it yourself, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you feel like doing yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation in the back of our Subaru, we're just going to pop our hatch and get that opened up. Take our Phillips and just back those out a little bit, and just don't put any pressure on it that holds it in. Just kind of like get it to spin. Then you'll be able to get your finger into it, wiggle it, and they should pop right out for you. Now with those out, we need to remove this little plastic trim that goes around. Just get your fingers in behind that. Now you can pull that straight out. With a 10mm socket, we're just going to remove these 2 screws in the back of our tail light. With those removed, we can pull back on our tail light. Now we're going to have our electrical connection. Just want to push in and pull that out. Now we can set our tail light housing to the side. We'll repeat the same process on our passenger side. On each side of our fender well, we're going to have this little plastic clip on both sides. Now some models may have 3, but ours does not, so we're just going to have the one up here. All we're going to do is just get our screwdriver up under that clip, kind of wiggle it back and forth. Just give that a wiggle, and just pull that out. Underneath of our fascia, we're going to follow around the perimeter, and we're going to have 9 different push clips. We're just going to do the same thing as we do with our other ones. Just want to get a screwdriver in there and get them to pull down. We'll still have to wiggle those and get those to pop out. We're just going to work our way around our fascia until we get all of those popped out. And with these, sometimes you'll have to work from side to side. Just keep working at them because they can get dirt in them and it makes them a little tricky. Once you get that to pop down, just wiggle that out. Now we can get ready to get our fascia removed, and we're just going to start popping along. Working our way down. Now, once we get to this point, we're going to have a connection. It's going to be for our sensors on our bumper. Push in that tab and undo that, and now we can move our fascia out of the way. Now we're going to have 2 14mm bolts and a 14mm nut on the inside of our bumper beam. We're just going to go ahead and get all those removed. Now with all of our bolts removed, we can remove our bumper beam. Now we can get our hitch put in place. Just want to line up and get that slid into place. May have to lift up and over. There's going to be a couple bolts that stick up under there that line up. And now we'll take our supplied nuts that come in our kit and just get those on the studs, and that's going to hold it in place for us. For our hardware, we do have the nut that we already installed on the stud, and right here we have a bolt that comes in the kit and our conical tooth washers. With these, you want to make sure that the teeth side are going to be facing the hitch. Now we can just get those installed finger tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque down my hardware on the back side of my hitch. Now we do have 2 different sizes. We have the nut and that's going to be a different torque than the larger ones. So make sure you take a look in your manual and follow your torque specifications in there. So now I'm just going to come back through and torque down all of my hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. Now, if you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at eTrailer. We have a few different options for those, or you can take a look at your local auto parts store and pick one up there. We're going to need to get our exhaust lowered down so we can get up here at our heat shield. So what I did is I have a strap in place that's going to support our exhaust when we remove our rubber hangers. So one of the things I like to do is take a little bit of soapy water. You can mix up a little bit of dish soap and water together, and that'll kind of help. I just spray those down and then wiggle my exhaust around, and that makes them easier to slide off. So now I'm just going to take either a pry bar, or if you have a set of pliers, you can get these off. I'm just going to work them off of the end. I'm going to have one towards the rear. We're going to have one up here on the side of our exhaust. That one's kind of tricky to see. And just want to get that pried off. Now we can get our one towards the front. Now while I'm holding the exhaust, I'll just back off my cam buckle strap a little bit to give me some room. Now my strap will hold our exhaust in place. We can come through and remove these 4 screws on our heat shield with a 10mm. With those all out, we'll just move that out of the way for now. Now we're going to have these 3 plugs here on this side towards the rear, and the second one back, we want to remove that. A lot of times you can just pop that out. Now we'll feel in there, and that is where our hitch is going to be right there. It's going to have a hole. Now on our other side, we'll remove the second plug back. In your kit, we're going to have a fish wire. What we're going to do is take this, and in the hole where we pulled that little rubber plug out, take your fish wire, run it up, and you're going to have the square opening. Just want to feel around for that coil, and we need that coil to come through the square. This can be a little tricky. Just take your time. You may need to pull the coil back out and bend it to make it a little easier for you. A couple times. Sometimes if you just put your fingertip on the end of it, get that to come through that way. Now once we get that, make sure we don't pull it all the way through. Put our spacer block on, followed by our carriage bolt that comes in our kit. Thread that on, clear up to the last thread. Now we can push our spacer block into the square hole, followed by our carriage bolt. Now we'll just work that through down to our hole, and that'll come through just like that. Now we can remove our fish wire. In your kit, you're going to have a square spacer. Get that put in place. And follow that up with the nut that comes in your kit. Just bring that up finger tight as far as you can. And we'll follow that same procedure on the other side. And we'll just torque down our carriage bolts to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. Now on our heat shield, we need to get put back in place around this M that we have. We're going to cut that out. So we're just going to take our tin snips, after we have that cut out, we can go ahead and reinstall our heat shield. With our heat shield back up, now we can get our exhaust put back in place. Easy way to do this is go ahead and respray your isolators and the pins that they slide on, and they'll pop right on for you. With those on, now we can remove our strap. On the bottom of our fascia, we went by our instruction manual, and we're going to make two different cuts, two different trims on this one. We're going to have our larger one, and then after we're done with this one, we'll come back through and measure and make our smaller cut. So now I have it marked out for our larger cut. Now I'm just going to take my multi-tool and cut this out. One recommendation I will make is always feel behind any panel that you're going to be cutting and make sure you don't have any kick sensor wires or any kind of sensors back there that you're going to cut into. On this one, we don't have anything, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start my cut. We have marked out our second cut we're going to make. I did go a little bit smaller. One of the things I like to do is kind of go smaller the instructions. I can always come back through and trim more out to make it fit, but I feel like if I go a little bit smaller, it may look a little bit better, so that's just something I do. Now we can go ahead and get our fascia put back in place. Just remember to plug in any of your electrical connections that you removed. And we'll go ahead and get this put on, and if we have any issues, we'll update you on any more trimming that we need to do. So with the bumper back on and the trimming all done, the trimming turned out really well. Going with less actually made it look quite a bit better. So I kind of recommend just going smaller on your measurements as far as the one where it goes around your hitch right here. It's a good idea. Go a little smaller. You can always widen it out and go a little bigger as you go along. I think it ends up with a better result. Other than that, With that all installed and back together, that'll do it for our installation of our CURT hitch on our 2025 Subaru Forester. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.